Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lost. Another one being done remotely because we've not been able to get together, but we didn't want to hold back watching anymore.
We didn't want to leave you waiting, did we?
We didn't want to leave Tom
Leave
waiting.
me waiting.
Tom waiting.
Tom waiting.
I was getting upset.
Tom has been desperate to watch more. He's been having to refresh his memory, haven't you, Tom? You've been re-watching our reaction videos so you can remember where we're up to.
Yeah, plus I like just seeing our faces.
Well, you know. Well, I can't even think what episode 13 was. Who was episode 13 about? I can't even remember now.
God, I can't remember. So I just got my cat.
It was the
What are you doing?
Boone and Chocolate Girl episode.
Oh, the Boone and Shannon.
Chocolate Girl.
The Boone and Shannon episode.
where Boone saw the maybe creature on the island and and he was tied up and set himself free. He saw an image of
Shannon being killed, right?
Shannon being killed by the monster, and Kate found out that Son speaks English or can understand it at least.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. I'm glad you remember, Tom.
And Jin and Hurley went fishing.
Oh yeah.
And that's all I can remember really right now.
Right. Well, this is season 1, episode 14, special. Any idea who you think this one might be about, Tom? Any inklings? Well, have you seen anything? Have you seen? Did you get anything from a thumbnail or anything?
No, I haven't seen the thumbnail or anything.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a nice surprise for you then.
Special. No, I have no idea. Yeah, Hurley.
Oh, we did say that I think at the end of the last one. So, well, let's find out if you're right. Remember, everybody, I've seen Lost all the way through a few times. I know it well. Jez has seen it once, doesn't remember anything.
Can't remember.
We're learning that Jez remembers even less than we thought Jez would remember, and Tom's never seen it before. So this could be.
I think you'll find that from the Angel reaction series as
I
well.
think so. Yeah. So this is going to be Tom's first time watching this episode. So you ready, guys? Shall we jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So here we go. This is Lost season 1, episode 14, special.
Oh, it's going to be Ethan and Walt, isn't it?
Michael and Walt.
Why did I say Ethan? Oh, that's the other guy. Yes!
Yes, that's right.
Let's
happy.
go.
It's a Michael and Walt episode.
Damn it. The one time I say it's not going to be them as well.
Allie will be living in this as 3 months' rent.
Oh, she's from
I was
Bones.
about to say, I've just been watching her in Bones.
Yeah,
Don't you want the best for this kid?
I like her in Bones. She's a good character.
Michael, we can't.
Yeah, I get back to painting eventually.
Couldn't think of anything more depressing than shopping for baby stuff.
Me and Walt and the Manitou will soon become husband.
Oh, I look
It's like when my
forward to
wife took me to hobby craft. It was like hell was real.
I'm after my dad.
Did you find a hobby?
No.
See, I'm going to buy so many toys that I'll end up playing with instead of the
definitely.
baby.
I want you to aim for it. Right here. Focus on it. All right?
Yeah.
Picture
Locks
in your mind's
Locks
eye.
the father figure he wants, isn't
You know
he?
what that is, right? The mind's eye.
Yeah.
Like a picture in your
Yeah,
head.
Michael's going to be pissed when he finds it.
Actually listens and spends time with
Yeah.
him though, doesn't he?
See it before you do it. Visualize the path. See it.
It's because Locke does cool stuff,
Like throw knives.
but Michael doesn't really do anything cool.
Oh.
Michael comes around the tree and almost gets stabbed.
That's what's going to happen, isn't it? Oh.
You both went, whoa.
You need to calm down.
You keep playing my son against me. And I'm gonna have a...
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
look at this. Boone's is heavy.
What are you, his
Easy.
To be fair,
You're the
what
one
is
who was
Boone
waving the
doing?
knife
He's just
around.
being
He
a
was just trying to
penis.
make sure you didn't hurt someone.
Yeah, to be fair.
As long as we're here, I think Walt should be allowed to realize his potential.
I like how he says realise his potential and not like, be treated like an adult.
Yeah.
And me.
We know there's something about him, doesn't he? He's got an inkling. There's something about Walt.
It goes back
Well,
to
Locke's
what
the
I keep
most in
saying.
tune with the island, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to the whole thing I keep saying about when I still need to remember what they said, but when they were saying how it's all religious based, it's kind of
Yeah.
related to that again.
This is not goodbye, Fred.
Crazy how they made him look like a baby for this scene.
What?
They really de-aged him well. They used some of that Disney de-aging, didn't they?
Those deep fake things.
Imagine that if they'd actually put his face as a deep fake on a baby.
Well, he's 10 years old, right? They just used some of that 10 years younger cream that they always...
Like the baby in the Twilight films.
But when I lay the pages down like this,
No.
I realized it wasn't showing the location of the island. I think it's a location on the island, specifically here.
So where are we in relation to the triangle?
Well, the map is hardly at scale, so I don't know.
We're not even sure.
All right.
Of it.
All right, Saeed. We don't need your sass.
Well, no, but this may be the transmitter sending out the distress call and its power source.
What are we talking about doing now? Looking for another excuse to get chased down and killed by whatever lives in the jungle?
Oh,
Yeah.
What is wrong with him today?
Building water filtration systems, playing golf, making a sweet little home here. We need to get off this island.
Well, because he wants off now, right? He's...
No, but I don't think anyone wants to get off as much as I do right now. Those seats, we took off the fuselage. They float. And we got an axe and a whole bunch of trees, bamboo. We can do this.
The chances of surviving the rough waters, the odds of finding a shipping lane.
And I get really seasick.
Shut
I don't think you're all going on it.
You know what?
Yeah, I was going to say, the amount of people
You're not
there.
building a fucking ark.
What a fucking Noah's Ark, eh, Tom?
They're building
I
it.
told you. I told you. It begins this episode.
I've been seeing someone.
What? Who?
Doesn't make any
Who
difference.
is it?
Brian Porter.
The guy who hired you.
It wasn't like that
So,
before.
so when you said you needed time to think about us, you were just lying.
No, I did.
No,
And I realized...
I'm coming to Amsterdam.
Michael, don't. It's over between us.
I'm not coming for you.
She
I'm coming
is
for Walt.
shit to him.
I'm getting my son back.
Like,
Mm.
she is...
God, fucking hell. Jesus.
God, that made me jump.
Okay, come out of nowhere.
Where's Claire's diary? Someone took it from her bag.
Oh, I get it. Something goes missing, and right away you figure it's got to be me.
I mean, you are
He's
a
going to have it,
thief.
isn't he?
The diary or not.
No, I'm not sure that's the best idea. Dear diary, I'm getting really freaked out by that has-been pop star.
Sawyer.
Diary, the little limey runt just won't let up.
Or they go, proper punch.
Damn, they put a great sound effect behind that punch.
They did.
All right.
Sounded like a crate had fallen off.
It sounded like someone was hitting a tree with a bat.
Yeah,
Just haven't gotten around to it.
that was the biggest punch ever.
Should have broken Charlie's neck by the sound of it. Turned his face inside out.
Maybe you should help Michael. He's building a raft. I was thinking I would help him out. Maybe finally get the hell out of here. Why don't you help me?
No, he's gonna say no.
Yeah,
No thanks.
he's done, isn't
Ah.
he? His sort of need for her has been shattered by
Yeah.
Locke.
Yeah, an episode or two ago would definitely said yeah.
Yeah.
I was just coming to see. I told you to stay away from my son.
He didn't. I was just
I don't want to hear from you.
I was just giving him this pencil to give to you. I thought you could use it. Consider it a peace offering.
So that's the thing.
I get you with my son again, I'll kill you.
See, Locke is really on Michael's side, really. Like, he has
Yeah.
at numerous points tried to help Michael to build, you know, a relationship. Like when he made the dog whistle to get Vincent back and gave him to Michael
Yeah.
to show him. And
We're moving to Italy at the end of the month. Brian's taking over the firm's Rome offices,
Sounds like Brian's on a roll.
and he wants to adopt Walt.
what the fuck?
Consider what's best for Walt. You can keep holding on if you want, but ask yourself, why you're doing that? Is it really for him?
She's so shit.
She's horrible.
Yeah, like, why does he need to adopt him?
Exactly. Yeah, why? Why does that have
Where's
to
the
be a
need
thing?
there?
Dude,
You can still play the father figure.
Yeah.
what? He just grabbed the dog and took off.
He's fucking riding the dog. Like a horse.
This isn't this isn't fucking this isn't Labyrinth.
Never ending story. Hold on to Vincent, hold on.
Vincent doesn't like something. Vincent is off. Oh,
Oh, the dog doesn't die, does it? I can't remember.
I picked the bronze Kahuku.
So has he adopted Michael now then?
Yeah.
Walt, I mean.
It doesn't look funny. Just the name.
Sleeping in my...
How do we know that?
Hey, Brian, look.
Well, I mean, I guess you're thinking he has, right? I mean, I don't know actually that he has, but...
Well, because if she then dies, he's...
Yeah.
How does Michael then have Walt back? I don't understand.
Oh, it was a bronze cuckoo, is it?
Is it dead?
Yeah. Poor guy.
Looks like it.
He does have superpowers. Oh
That's
my!
fucking creepy.
I can't believe he has superpowers.
Like an animal summoner.
Yeah, this doesn't work on dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dr. Doolittle.
I didn't want to be a father. All right? I just don't know how.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about, man? You adopted him.
Yes, I did. Because she wanted that, and I
There you
wanted
go.
her. Look.
Doesn't even want him.
What the hell are you talking about? You're the only father he knows.
It's more than that.
Well, then what?
There's something about him.
Doesn't even like him.
The hell are you talking about, man?
Sometimes when he's around, things happen.
Things die, like Vincent. Oh no! Walt caused the fucking plane crash.
What's that?
Something I think Walt should have.
Oh, they were the letters from him.
Yeah, I guess.
They've hidden them up.
She really was an arsehole, wasn't she?
Yeah, I was just thinking that absolute full-on... Won't say the word.
Yeah. I almost did as well. Basically painting him to be a dad who never wanted to be there, even though that's all he actually wanted.
Forcing a new husband into adoption.
Yeah. Oh, look at that terribly CGI'd wide shot of Polar.
Yeah, I just thought that. I thought that looked a bit crap.
It's like a PlayStation 2 game.
Come on, up here. Michael.
So much motion blur on it.
Brian loves you very much. And he wants you to stay with him, but it's not his choice. It's mine.
Oh, there you go.
I'm your
Good guy
legal
there,
guardian.
Michael.
Why is he lying?
Because he's too good a guy.
It's not like he's gonna disappear from your life.
And that's why Walt hates him.
Yeah.
Write to you, come to see you whenever he can. You'll still have your dog.
Vincent isn't mine. He's Brian's.
Brian said you could have him.
little fuck you to Brian there.
Yeah.
Brian says you can have this nice house too.
Yeah, exactly. Brian said if you want to set the bed on fire, you can.
Jesus!
He drops it, goes straight through Walt's shoulder. He has got the knife. Oh, good shot.
This like, sounds like what I like in the morning when I wake up.
It's like, it's like, forget this.
Every card, every letter I sent you over the last 8 years.
I never saw these.
Because your mum's a cunt.
Did my mom have these?
You have to hear this.
What is that?
It's Claire's diary.
You're reading her.
Scum.
I had that weird dream again, the one with the black rock I can't get away from. I tried to leave it, but it won't let me.
Maybe it's where Claire was taken.
Maybe she's there.
Maybe. Charlie, we all want to find Claire.
Well, you're not really trying,
Yeah,
are
it
you?
doesn't seem like it.
They want to find her, but no one's bothering to
But
look.
we have been playing golf for deodorant, so we've been pretty
Yeah.
busy.
Vincent. Vincent, is that you?
Yes.
Whoa, it's me, man.
Who's this going to be?
Oh.
Claire?
Oh, fuck, it's Claire.
I don't know. The subtitles just said young woman in brackets.
Oh, that ended a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Right.
Oh.
So there we go. That was Lost Season 1, Episode 14, Special. First question I've got to ask. Jez, how much of this episode do you remember?
None.
Pardon?
None.
None. Brilliant.
None.
I mean, I
None.
say it. I know what the answer's going to be every time I say it.
Yeah.
Tom, want to start with thoughts? What do you think of this one?
Well,
You've been waiting, right, for Michael?
It's the one you're waiting for, Tom.
yeah,
Sound a bit depressed.
yeah, it was really good.
sure?
At one
You seem
point,
sad.
I was thinking, I was like, is it my favourite? But I can't
Okay.
remember what my last favourite was.
Oh yeah,
So
what was your
I've already
last-
forgotten what my favourite was.
You,
So
It
this
was
is the new favourite.
It was one that surprised me. Your last favorite episode. I can't remember which one. I can't remember which one it was, but it was. I was a bit surprised when it was your favorite, from what I remember. But this is your new favorite.
Well, only because I forgot what the last favourite was. So
Yeah,
I
fair.
don't really have a choice.
It wasn't like the Sun and Jin episode, was it, or something like that? Like something unexpected.
That rings a bell.
No, I
Was it
don't
not
think
the
so.
Sun and Jin? Was it the Claire episode?
Yeah, it was probably something to do with Claire being taken by Ethan.
Oh yeah, maybe. But you enjoyed this one though, obviously.
Yeah, it was. I think their story was a lot different to what you kind of thought it would be.
What were you expecting their backstory to be? Like, you know, I'm not saying I expect you to tell me all the details, but what was the angle you were more expecting from it?
Well, I think just what they wanted you to think. Just think that Michael didn't want anything to do with him, and that was it. Really, I think that's kind of what I imagine everyone that watched the show was thinking.
Yeah.
Before they watched this one, is Michael didn't want anything to do with him, which is why Walt doesn't like him, because Walt knew that. But
Yeah.
no, that's not what it was.
No, you got this kind of idea from it, didn't you? Up until now, that Michael was like an absentee dad, but kind of through him not caring or wanting to be a better dad. But obviously,
Yeah.
you realise through this episode that was
Susan.
Yeah, I mean, can we take a moment to just appreciate how much of an arsehole Susan was? Like,
So I like the actress that plays Susan in Bones. Really like the actress, but her in this episode, by the end,
you were glad she was
I
dead.
really
weren't
wish
you?
she hadn't died in a week comfortably in hospital, and instead had gone to the island and been mauled to death by a polar bear.
Yeah, she was just such an arsehole, wasn't she? Like,
Yeah, full on bitch.
yeah, like everything she did was shitty. Like,
But there was no reason for it though. That's what I can't understand.
Yeah.
Like their marriage breakup didn't seem like it was that bad.
they weren't even married, were they?
Like
I don't think, were they? They were
Well,
just
no,
dating,
sorry,
yeah.
but their separation
Yeah.
didn't seem that bad. She got a job in Amsterdam. That's fair enough. She wanted to take Michael. I kind of got it at that point, but it was a case of everything else that led beyond that. There just didn't seem to be any sense at all from hiding the letters from.
You'd think Michael was a
and
terrible
then-
person, wouldn't you? Like, you know,
Yeah.
for the way that she acted, wanting
Yeah.
this Brian to adopt Walt, and
Oh, and Brian wants to adopt him, but then it's because I was thinking at that point, I was like, "There's no reason for
him to
Michael's still around. There's no reason for him to adopt him whatsoever. There's no,
yeah,
there's
he can still be. His
it makes
stepdad,
no
right?
impact on it makes no impact on Walt's life whatsoever, apart from her just being an absolute bitch.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you'd understand it if Michael was some abusive
Michael was dead.
husband, or like,
Yeah.
you know, and like even when she wouldn't let Michael talk to Walt on the phone, oh, he's too young, he won't understand. It's like, fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
just let the man
let him hear his
talk
dad's
to
voice.
fucking kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolute
she didn't.
arsehole.
She didn't even care for Walt either. Really, the only real scene we saw him was when she started feeling ill, and he would talk about his he was doing what he wanted to do, and then she's like, "Just do your homework," and that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all she said to him, and he was like,
Yeah.
talking about it and asking
yeah.
her questions, and she just ignored him. I can't remember what he said, but he said something to her.
He was
and-
talking about saying that they were studying Australian birds, and it didn't make any sense
Yeah.
if they were living in Australia. Shouldn't they study birds from a different country, like Egyptian birds? I think was what he said. But yeah, she was kind of fobbing him off, wasn't she?
Well, there was just a bit where he said something, and then he gave her a look because she clearly just ignored him.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I know she was feeling ill, but I think that just shows that she'd been doing that forever.
Well, I'm glad she's dead.
And like, what was the reason, you know, for her to? Because Brian apparently hadn't been secretive about not wanting to take on Walt, right? You know, like he from what he said, he'd made it very clear to her that he was in it for her, not for the kid. So like, what's the point in even? She must have forced Brian into adopting Walt, right? Like,
well, that's pretty much what they've said. Yeah, she's just a all round 100%
asshole.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, asshole, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying not to use the C word. I've already used it once this episode. I'm not going to use it again.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think it's... See, I think Lost is often at its strongest when you get these backstories that you don't know all the details on, right? Because I think one of the weakest backstories we've had so far has been Saeed, because it just told us stuff we knew. You know, like
we said that at the end, didn't we? You know, Saeed's episode wasn't the
and I love Saeed, but the story, but this you really didn't know anything about these characters really, and so that was interesting. Okay, what about this little hint then about there being something more to Walt? You know, these conversations, you mentioned it. You know, it got mentioned during the episode. Tom, you spoke about it as well. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know. The show wants you to think that he has some sort of super power, or he has some negative energy that follows him around. But I think it's just coincidences, really. Like the bird hitting the window.
Yeah,
I remember that happened when I was at school once, and we all found it funny.
The fact it was the same bird that he was talking about from the book, though, as well. That was an interesting little...
Well, were we sure it was the same bird?
I think it is the same bird. I think it's the same species, right?
I think the look on Brian's face was...
Yeah, like, oh shit, what?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Also, the other... Sorry, I was going to say, the bit with the comic, right, as well. Did you notice the little thing to that? That the comic was full of polar bears?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. I noticed it. I didn't think much of it. We knew polar bears were already on the island. If they'd shown a picture of like I don't know, him getting attacked by a hippo that was trying to eat him, then I would have been surprised. But seeing a polar bear, I was like, well,
I don't think Tom's on our wavelength for this episode.
No, I think as soon as he got lost, I was like, well, and you heard and Walt, Vincent ran away. You knew it was probably going to be another polar bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't too surprised, but I think it was cool, and I think the show wants us to think that he's
something special about him.
Like I said, bad omens around him and bad things happen, but I think
the episode was called Special, right?
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
So it's a coincidence, fair enough. And any other particular like standout stuff in this episode for either of you? Like, interested to know any like favorite bits or any other bits that were of interest to you guys?
No, not really. Not for, the only thing I did like is how the present day Michael, it made you not like him at all. But obviously, when you've seen the flashbacks, you really liked you kind of like felt sorry for his character, where you didn't have any sympathy for him.
Yeah,
in the present day.
Yeah, he's fun.
I quite like that. You're seeing the present day and the past Michael and having two different opinions on the person.
Yeah, I think it does a good job of that, even when there's only been like a few weeks between the two. Like, you know, because like, as you say, Michael on the island comes off as a guy who doesn't want to be a dad. But I think that what it actually is Michael on the island is actually a guy who doesn't know how to be a dad, and he wants to be a dad. And like, Michael is clearly a good man and will like even put himself in a shit situation with his son to protect his son's feelings, rather than say, actually, Brian doesn't want anything to do with you. You know, like he's got that fathering instinct there that he wants to. He was already protective of his son at that point, like, you know, trying to protect him from that hurt, which obviously has been what he's wanted to do on the island, but because he's not been a parent, he doesn't know the best way to do it, and that often comes off as him being kind of smothering and controlling. And for Walt, it's a guy who he doesn't even know much better than the rest of these people on this island. He's probably known Michael 2 days longer than he's known everybody else on this island. And he's already obviously got a worse opinion of Michael. So
Yeah. He's probably actually spoken to Locke more than Michael.
Probably. What do you think, Tom? Any other standout bits for you? Any other interesting things that you want to mention?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think there's quite a few actually.
Well, that's what I've got quite a few as well, so I'm glad you've got a few. Go on.
I think for me, I don't really know how to put it without going into it. So I'm just going to say it how I would say it anyway.
Go on.
I like these two because I guess I kind of felt the same way as in, I didn't see my dad for a long time. And I definitely felt, even though I was like teenager by the time I saw him again, that he treated me like a kid and not like more grown up than what I am.
Yeah.
So I felt like when Locke said that, I was like, yeah, I felt the same way. And I think, I think that's definitely how Walt feels. Is Michael almost treats him like he's like half the age of what he is.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's still 10 years old, but as Locke said, he's been through a lot more than most people have at his age. So
yeah, for sure.
He's definitely a bit more grown up than a normal 10-year-old would be.
Yep.
So yeah, I found that a bit interesting. Like it really, I guess that's why I like this whole backstory.
Well, you've got a link to it, right? You can kind of recognise it, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah, it makes me think like, what was things like that when I didn't see my dad? Was my mum like that? But she definitely wasn't. But it's just interesting to see, how much Michael cared.
Yeah.
But he wasn't allowed to see Walt, and it was sad. And and I felt, like you said, I feel like I had a bit of a connection to it. That's why I like this episode. I think.
Yeah, of course.
Well, and because I like those characters anyway. So, I think it was a shame that Michael obviously cared and he wanted him to stay in America with him, but Susan really didn't care. Seems like she didn't care about Walt at all, and she forced adoption not just on Brian but on Michael as well.
Yeah, she did. It was kind of everything was what she wanted, wasn't it? Really, like they didn't have to be together, but Michael could. Yes, it's expensive, right? It's going to be expensive to travel from America to Amsterdam, especially when he's like an unemployed artist who got into construction work, But they could have made it work, right? They could have found places. She was clearly very well off, so she could have done what was best for Walt and let Michael still be a part of his life, but she actively chose to not let that happen, which kind of sucks, even from keeping the letters from him. And at the end, Michael Michael at the very end sort of defended Susan and said, oh yeah, she didn't give you them, but she didn't throw them away, so she must have wanted you to have them. So even at that point, he was still protecting her. But I think one of the interesting things there, though, is that obviously, like, as well, that talking about Walt's relationship with Locke and how defensive Michael is. And like we were saying, Michael does definitely treat Walt like he's younger than he is, but that's because he just doesn't know how to father, right? Like, he doesn't really know he doesn't really understand what a 10-year-old is. Like, to him, he's just a baby still, really, in that. But also, like, yeah, okay, in the regular world, Walt probably shouldn't be chucking knives around that Locke's given him, but they're living on a pretty dangerous island. Like, he needs to learn to handle himself. And
but Locke made a good point as well. Just probably in that few weeks that they've been on the island, Walt was probably experienced more than probably a lot of people in their 20s or 30s have.
Yeah, exactly. And part of protecting Walt is teaching him to be able to look after himself in those situations. Locke's doing it in a different way, but Locke is also protecting Walt.
Yeah.
What do you think? Definitely. What do you think about their relationship, Tom, or Jeremy as well? What do you think of that relationship between Locke and Walt?
I really like their relationship. I think that, like you said, I think Locke is taking on a fatherly figure role of him, but obviously he knows the full potential and he knows there's something special, linked to the episode name, about Walt. I don't know if he knows his full power to do with these animals, like the animal summoning or whatever, which I think it is. But I think he knows there's something there. I don't know if he's trying to get more out of that. Yeah. So I think there's there are true feelings towards being protective over Walt, but I don't know whether there's something more sinister there from Locke as well, just to try and figure out what he can do.
Yeah. What do you think, Tom? What do you think about that relationship?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that until Jez just said it about him maybe being more sinister. But no, I think you know, obviously Locke's not trying to be his dad, but he's just trying to be a role model for him because, like he said, he's been through more than, you know, most people have been through in their whole lifetime. So like he knows that this kid doesn't need to have his hand held and sit there and read comics all day and like pretend that the island's a nice place and, you know, they're just going to be here for a brief time. Like Locke's trying to show him all the things he needs to know just in case Walt ever got lost or
has to live there for a long time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I was being harsh by saying sinister. I don't really think Locke has any bad will against Walt, if that makes sense. I think he's trying to push him to see what does happen.
Yeah, no,
I expect him. It's not expecting Walt to get hurt. You know, I don't think that for 1 minute that, you know, Locke's expecting him to summon a polar bear and get mauled to death. But
I mean,
yeah, I think you'd be pushing him in a way to see what he can do.
I mean, he kind of reached out to be friends with him from the start, right? Like even back at the very, very beginning, they were playing backgammon together and that kind of. I think it's backgammon they were playing.
Wasn't that with Hurley? Or did they play it as well?
No, he played it with Locke right at the beginning because they were talking about... Cause it was Locke that taught him initially how to play it, but then, yes, he did play it with Hurley and he was hustling Hurley.
And that goes back to actually... Sorry. When he was playing it with Hurley, he was saying, you know, my dad about Brian.
Yeah.
Or other dad, or whatever. He's like, said I'm lucky or I'm special,
he did,
or something like that. So
Yeah, he said I'm lucky. He said the luckiest guy he ever met, I think was what he said. Yeah. So there are little fun things. There are lots of little nice bits like that you can pick up on when you go, because he says, doesn't he? He goes, my dad says that, and he talks about Mike, and he goes, no, my other dad was what he said with Walt there. But no, I mean, the interesting thing with like Locke is that, like you say, Locke isn't trying to be his dad, right? Like Locke has, if anything, in my opinion, has at numerous occasions tried to help Michael build a better relationship with Walt, and you know, like we say, when he built the dog whistle, when he gave it to and caught Vincent and gave Vincent to Michael to, you know, to take back to Walt, you know, so he could be the hero. And when he even said to Walt, look, you can't come around here anymore. Your dad doesn't want you to. You need to respect your dad's wishes. Like, you know, he wasn't trying to be like, just ignore what your dad's saying. You know, you make your own choices. You know, he's always, from what we've seen, been very much on Michael's side.
Yeah, I think Locke, you know, because he knows everything about the island, everyone, because he caused this to happen. No, that's not true. But I think he can definitely tell that they don't know each other that well, even though he is his dad.
Yeah,
I think he can tell just from the way they are together, and you know how Walt comes to Locke for like everything.
Yeah.
I think he knows that that they don't have a great relationship, which is why why he did the stuff like the dog whistle and giving Michael, you know, letting him show that he'd found Vincent or whatever. So yeah, I think Locke's doing a good thing. He's doing good work, but
he's doing good work. He's doing good work.
Michael's just a bit upset that Locke seems to want to hang out with him more.
Yeah. Well, Michael's very hot-headed, isn't he? Like, you do get that idea. Michael's hot-headed. He's impulsive. Like, he does get into little altercations with people on the island, and he's very quick to like get his back up. And I guess a lot of that probably comes down to like that relationship, you know, with Susan and stuff. Like, he's quite hard to trust now. So you know but. Talking a bit about Locke as well at the moment, it's interesting to see how Boone is now, right? After that last episode, like Boone was always he was always on Locke's side, right? Like he's for a long time been Locke's like little buddy.
Yeah.
But he's now really in Locke's camp, isn't he? Like
it's Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it is. And he's kind of you know, like, and you've seen how he's changed his attitude towards Shannon as well. You know, he said no to her, right? Probably the first time he's ever said no to her.
Yeah, he's probably thinking about all the times that she's like strung him along or made him do things he doesn't want to do because I don't know, she kind of guilt trips him into it or whatever.
Well, and he's kind of in love with her as well, right? Like he had that kind of, we saw that they'd had that thing, didn't they? They had that little fling together, and he'd obviously had a thing for her for a long time, and she'd used her feminine wiles to sort of control him and get what she wanted, and that seems to have now, he's kind of snapped out from that now.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, Locke showed him. Locke's going to do that with more characters, definitely. Show them what they need to see to change
the way.
Yeah, he is kind of he's kind of all knowing, isn't he? Really, well, not all knowing, but you know what I mean. He's very good at kind of seeing what people need.
Just missing Miyagi.
Yeah, and he even kind of had that little moment of sort of mutual respect with Michael at the end as well after they saved Walt. So, maybe their relationship will be a bit better now.
Oh, definitely. That whole thing's going to change now. Like, maybe even Michael and Walt will both go and see Locke and learn some things from him instead of Walt going on his own.
Bit of co-parenting going on.
Exactly. And obviously Michael's now got this idea in his head of building his raft, right? Do you think are we going to see more of that? Maybe we'll actually see Walt actually actively helping with that one.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. That's what I was wondering about the whole Castaway theme, because they should have just realised how hard it was to build a raft for one person.
Yeah. Well,
I presume they're only doing it for one or two people, not the whole.
I mean, Michael did work in construction, right? He does have a knowledge of these kind of things. I mean, maybe not building rafts, but
Yeah, I suppose he did quite well with the caves, didn't he? Building the system there. So yeah, possibly. Possibly.
I mean, go on.
Can we just go back to the point again? How it's been a week. They're all desperately missing Claire, but no fuckers looking for her.
I was going to leave that to the end, but
okay.
Yeah, they have been playing golf for deodorant, and
how many times have they mentioned in that episode how much they missed her and how much Claire was mentioned, but no fuckers actually getting off their ass and looking for her.
Well, they're too busy trying to read her diary. They're all reading that. Yeah. They're all busy with her diary at the moment. Obviously, the main focus there initially was really Charlie realizing that Claire's diary was missing, Sawyer having it, those guys having a little bit of a punch up. It wasn't a big storyline bit, but obviously, as Jez mentioned, everyone really misses Claire, but they can't be bothered to go and find her. We find out in the diary that Claire one writes that she likes Charlie, and Charlie makes her feel safe, but also mentions something about a black rock.
Dreams she's having.
Dreams about a black rock, which also were in Rousseau, the French woman's notes. Any thoughts on that one, you pair?
No idea.
That's a bit of a mystery.
Right? One of life's mysteries.
I think Charlie was reading the notepad upside down and backwards.
I presume that's where she's been. That's the only thing I can presume. The Black Rock is where she was. But other than that, I have no idea.
Well, that's the thing, right? She's back now. So where's she been? This seems like time for one of Tom's crazy theories. Tom, where's Claire been for a week?
Well, I imagine.
Go on.
They've got a big greenhouse.
Okay.
Where they put pregnant people in soil like plants, and then they sprout out babies, and then they sacrifice the babies to something. Then they become polar bears, and it's a polar bear conservation island.
I mean, I never saw that coming. You could have given me a million guesses, and that would not have been any of them.
That was like further out there than the Noah Ark one.
Yeah. Well done, Tom. Wow. Yeah. There we go. With that bombshell, I feel like we can't really go anywhere else.
No, I mean, I'm not convinced that it was Claire at the end. Still,
you don't think that was Claire?
Only because I have the subtitles on. It didn't say her name. It just said
it was definitely her.
Young woman panting or breathing or something like that.
Did they not even say Claire at the end?
I thought they did say Claire. I thought they did say Claire. Yeah, well, didn't Bloom go Claire?
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's her.
Okay.
Could be any woman.
Okay. Maybe it's evil possessed. Maybe she's been possessed by an evil spirit.
Maybe it's her kid that's grown up super fast.
She did look a bit Carrie-esque.
Yeah, she did. A little bit less pig's blood, but still a bit quite dishevelled. Well, the next episode is Homecoming. So, maybe we won't have to wait too long to find out about who that was if it wasn't Claire.
Is she going to ask like the camp, like, "Oh, how did anyone come looking?"
They'll
for
be
me?
like,
"Oh, they're all going to like look at each other like
all day, every day.
Yeah, they go.
We missed you.
They go. We didn't, but if you fancy a couple of holes of golf, we have set up a banging little course. If you want to play.
Sorry, I know we keep touching on it, but they didn't even like the writers of the show didn't even have like just moments of just going, "Oh, just come back from 2 hours of search."
yeah, we've been.
They didn't have to have shots of them looking for her, but they just didn't even reference it, did they?
Kate being like, "There's no tracks. We can't find anything."
Yeah.
No.
We just searched the west side of the island. Can't find anything there.
Nah, sack it off.
Yeah.
Sack it off. No one really liked her anyway, I think. She was a bit distant, right? She's a bit... Let's be honest, having a pregnant woman around, it was just going to be more hassle than it was worth when that baby came.
Do you think if someone had come to rescue them, like a boat or a plane, they would have just gone without her anyway?
Probably. They'd just be like, is there anyone else?
Nah.
Just get out of here. Let's get out of here. I need to get myself some KFC. Let's get back to America. Right. Anything else you guys want to touch on, or are we done?
Nah, that's good. We're done.
You done, Tom?
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly guess that the next episode is Hurley.
Next episode's Hurley. Okay. We haven't had a Hurley yet, have we?
No, we haven't yet, actually.
No.
I think we're due a Hurley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't get invited to homecoming party. So he was sad about it.
Brilliant. Well, there we go. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you tune in next time to see if episode 15 is about Hurley not getting invited to homecoming. I think that's obviously what it's about. Tom has absolutely knocked the nail on the head there. If you have enjoyed this episode, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your comments below. Please don't give us any spoilers down there. Remember, Tom has not seen Lost before. Jez can't remember it. He's got memory like a sieve. I know it, but let's not ruin it for these guys. You can also head over to allmaverick.com where you can check out our videos, our blogs, and our podcasts. You can go to twitch.tv/allmaverick live. On a Tuesday and Thursday night, we are streaming some of our favourite games. Literally just before we did this recording, I was giving Jez a serious battering at Worms WMD. Check it out. And if you look in the description below, there are links to all of our social channels, including our Twitter, our Instagram, and our Discord. Why not come along, join the Discord, and chat with us directly about TV shows, films, all that TV shows, films, games, all that kind of stuff. Tell us what other shows you think we should be checking out or movies. Right.
Well done.
Let's go, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.